And here we go. So, Area 1 is all skill. Yes. Best of luck to both of these runners. They will absolutely need it if they want to best the other. Should be a very interesting race. The loser not knocked out of the tournament just yet. They will be dropped down to loser's bracket. And they'll be one loss away from elimination. So, both players fairly synced. We want to see as much of this syncopation as possible. It's good for the psyche. Both players approaching that ghost slightly differently, but having the same result, which is something that's very fun about watching different players in this game, is that there's so many different ways you can go about tackling these ghosts to get these doubles. I mean, as long as you do it fast, like your angle can be like from the top, from the bottom, like it's just whatever you feel comfortable doing. The suck-ups from Skozzy more on point, and that nuanced ability has granted him about a second lead. Half-second lead with the sucker punch from DeathJohnson. Maybe a little nerves, maybe just missed input. You really hate to see that in Area 1. Of course, Skozzy, very versed in Area 1. This man has collected this key probably 10,000 times or more. So, still fairly close, even though Death had the punch. So I'm wondering what happened there with Skozzy to have him not gain a little more time. I mean, Death got punched, and when you get punched and sent Luigi on his backside, the ghost will despawn. Luigi, you gain control of Luigi the frame that the ghost despawns. The game's like very cheeky about that. DeathJohnson electing to go for the catch in the bottom left corner, where Skozzy went for the top left corner. You're closer to the chest when you do it in the top left, but they say it's easier to do it in the bottom left. So again, just the difference in approach, something I really enjoy seeing when I watch these races. Very good suck up there by Skozzy. You could hear the pitch of the vacuum there, how it stayed up, stayed high. That's one of the ways you can auditorily determine that you have completed a good suck up on Lydia, who is quite wily in a laggy room. Definitely near flawless. Very nice ball. You know, both players like barely turn Luigi when they go to grab that. They just basically back up, and then the auto lock kind of gets the ball, and you just hold up, let go. Hit the baby. This fight is very nuanced. Don't want to drain him past 50 HP. Skozzy will probably let him go at like 70 because he's just smug. So he'll let him go at like 75 and then just do that much damage in the second cycle just because he's so good at this boss. And there's other ways to save time besides just a good suck up. First is getting this ball. Grab what you need to be on that left pillar, aiming up and to the left. It's just very specific. Yeah, you can see let him go at 67. Like, no doubt that's above 50, and he's just going to do the rest of that damage second cycle. I like it. It's just, it shows confidence. And you could see how when Chauncey went to bounce on Skozzy the second time, it's like Chauncey moves forward a little bit, and that saves a tiny bit of time. And then you want to purposely get hit here so you can grab this ball and get the insta ball. That was pretty quick. That's what you want to see. Both players getting very good fights. DeathJohnson with 50 HP, which what I like to say is if you were playing the American version, you'd be dead. You take double damage in the Hidden Mansion, the American version. So DeathJohnson holding true to his name in some way. Don't die. If you die in the Hidden Mansion in Japanese, that means you are very careless. You die in real life. But every area you get healed. So Skozzy was at 65 HP, DeathJohnson was at 50. I mean, most of the time you're just tanking HP, it's not a big deal. But now that they're going downstairs into Egad's laboratory and warping back to the front of the mansion for the next area, being, you know, warped into the Area 2 mansion, right? So you can think of it like when you go to a new area, you're in the same mansion, but it's like the Area 2 mansion. So things like the chandelier dropping on you in the ceiling like won't happen. So it's the little nuance how each area's map is just slightly different. We don't even know all the like the, you know, intricacies or maybe like just slight details or differences, just besides like the obvious ones. But who knows? Maybe there's stuff like parallel universes in this game, like Mario 64. Research it, figure it out. Someone dig deep. All right, now Area 2 is intense. It's one of the most intense parts of the run, in my opinion. Good positioning there by Skozzy. Just want to be right underneath. And, you know, similar positioning for death. These are very quick boo doubles by both players. I like it. You enter the room, aim down, and scare skip. Oh, missing a double by death, as you can see. Scare skipping is not only a good idea, but it's a great way to stay in shape. Early release, 100% random. There's nothing you can do to affect this, and Skozzy just got mad lucky. Luckiest man on Earth right now. If there's any time you want early release, right now in these races. Sometimes it's what you need to be able to advance in this. In this case, stay in winner's bracket. Avoid elimination. So DeathJohnson had a very rough go there with the ballroom. No early release, missed 2 doubles. It's, you know, it's a hard room. It's something you can practice pretty easily, because you only have to go 2 rooms away in order to reset a room. So it's one of the easiest rooms to reset, because you can just walk down the hallway a little bit and it counts as 2 rooms. Because you want to practice on a disc. Emulator is okay for like learning the game at first, but your runs past 105 have to be on a disc. So if you want to practice some rooms, you actually have to walk very far through the mansion if you want to practice it. And then there's just things like these boos, for example, that when you make a save, they're all in like the same spot. So you know, to really practice them is like not like possible. You have to just do runs, and that's something you hear very commonly in this game. Is like there's a lot of things you can practice, and then there's things that just require intuition and experience, and that comes with doing runs. And this is where some of that intuition will be coming up. So Skozzy's going to do a strategy here where he enters the room with the left door, holding R so that the flashlight he's holding turns into a vacuum without him taking an extra step. And then he's going to search the drawer on the right. He's just going to go for it, you know. Like, and what you hope is that that has the boo. You set up the tech skip, and then very nice. I like how he went for it. The safe play would have been just to check underneath that hump, but he got the bad luck where it was a bomb underneath that. If he were to take off that sheet, there would have been a bomb. So he risked it for the biscuit, and it paid off. Right now, Death has the bad RNG where the boo's just right there. Not that the bomb is good RNG, because, I mean, if you check, that you just wasted the opportunity to get the tech skip. But Death with just no opportunity to get a tech skip, and no early release. So that's a rough start for him, and a flawless start for Skozzy. That's this game, man. That's it. In this category, it's magnified too, and now he's getting trolled by the second boo as well. Skozzy not going for the boo double, probably a good idea. You can trigger the boo in that room previous, and then coax this guy to go down and get a double, but that's why I call this a sanity check. And right now, our man Skozzy has an ounce of sanity left in him. Nice picture taking there by Skozzy. There's a bunch of stuff in the way there, and if you don't aim your flashlight up just right, you'll end up taking a picture of the sink or the faucet. It's quite nuanced. Let's see if the good luck continues for Skozzy. Oof. A boo ball. Famous for costing you time no matter what. In no situation is a boo ball good. Oof. Barely got that. I was a little worried. But save and quit, grab it, skip the text. If you do it too fast or like too perfectly, quote unquote, you actually can crash this on your Wii. Which is not good. You can fix it by resetting, but now this is a little in-game timer test to see how quickly you can do all this. And DeathJohnson also getting the skip. Very nice to see. That mouse can't touch you. So it's not like you have to worry about that hitting you or anything and causing a scare. Okay, so he's setting up the hat trick here. It just saves a half second when you go to spawn the chest, because every time you spawn the chest, there is a cutscene. So very nice to not accidentally pick up the hat while he's getting the double, and he has the timing just right, so you can see he doesn't look at the chest, he only looks at the hat cutscene of Luigi celebrating, giving the peace sign. DeathJohnson also would like to show off the hat trick. It only saves like a half a second or so, but if you nail it, it definitely saves time. And allows you to walk over to the chest and open it before you leave this room in this category, so you don't look, of course, like this, you don't look at it again when it spawns. Nice quintuple. Oof, a little trouble with this search by Skozzy. Losing a little bit of time here, because he called a Mario while he was holding R, so Luigi swing his body around and there's nothing you can do but like wait for him to stop doing that. And the boo was in the spot above the warp out, so you're, you know, cautious not to accidentally warp out of the room, because that would be like a catastrophic mistake. Not getting the skip on the towel, but not worried, like 1-2, you know, seconds max, it's not a big deal at all. Yeah, very good by DeathJohnson. That's exactly what you want to do to search for that boo. Stand on the right side there. Try not to get trolled by the towel, unless you're setting up the towel skip, of course. And then check both the bucket and the things on the shelf at once. Nice suck up. Very nuanced. Well done, Skozzy. This is sketchy. Oh no. That is not good. So Luigi will auto-lock onto anything except the boo. And what happened there was he opened the chest and just the boo was right on top of the key the whole time. He was like trying to walk around and, you know, still be in position, but thankfully the boo went right back in there, because if he went into Lug's room, this room's dark, he can't do anything. So that was scary. DeathJohnson, if he gets this boo quickly, can save a little time. Gets the boo ball. Gets the boo. Still probably faster than letting him go out in the hallway, so we'll call that a bit of a catch up. Catch up. All right. Yeah, the boo's now giving Skozzy a little trouble, which is to be expected. If you're expecting perfect RNG, you know, First of all, you gotta wait very long for that opportunity. Like, the odds of getting perfect RNG in this category are really low. Or very good RNG, even. Just because there's just so many variables to how the boos are manipulated. And of course the randomness to their positions. Once you spot them. 2 rooms away. For the first time. In your seated, nuanced mansion. So, good dog. I think you got early, dog. Now get... This double should be sick. I love it. Actually staggers the flashlight usage to get that. I don't think Skozzy's going for the RNG Quagmire spawn. Not necessary at all in this situation. Risky, it would only save half a second. So yeah, just elects for the regular spawn. The default spawn. Oh, and he loses them. Very aggressive on that and laid it all on the line. And misses the first shot from the second cycle and the second shot from the second cycle. So now we're on the third cycle here. He is spawned in an okay spot. It could have been a lot worse. So more time for DeathJohnson to catch up here if he can get this one cycle. Getting pulled, getting tugged. But he recovered there, got Luigi's back to the fence, fortunately, and that definitely helped a little bit to get himself back in this race. And something has happened. DeathJohnson taking a really long time to initiate that text. I'm a little curious about what happened there. Just throwing away seconds. Yeah, it's a good idea to stay woke while you're doing a run and not fall asleep. And especially in a race. I think that's a good idea. So, time for Area 3. Really the biggest thing in this area is the boss. The boss is probably the hardest thing and can lose you the most time, but there's a lot of little time saves here and there. Like having your back to the lion's head here when you're going into the cutscene and using a lot of flashlight skips. Just like that. You can hear the water usage. That's just to get Luigi going right away. Of course, looking forward to this shot right here, the water ball that you use to douse this door. Misses the first shot, but gets the second one. Halfway up the stairs, which I love that. A lot of players will just stay like underneath and sort of go like, you know, very square to it and shoot it before they go up the stairs, but Skozzy likes to go for it like while you're walking up the stairs and just missed on the first shot. And that was a nice shot by Death right there, who's right behind. Sneaking up Skozzy's tail. And Skozzy having a little trouble finding this boo. The boos have not been kind for Skozzy this little bit here, and he is setting up this tech skip to remind the game that he is in control. Very nice tech skip, a lot harder than it looks. The cloth is very big, so it's just a little trickier to get it off the table, in my opinion, compared to the other ones and get it in position. But of course, he knows the timing perfectly and the positioning perfectly. So he saved a few seconds on that, even though he spends a little while searching for it. The boo, that is. Just another really good suck up there. Skozzy definitely keeping himself in this race with solid suck ups all the time. Rarely dropping them right now. Playing hot in some regards. Alright. I'd say Death is pretty close here. Just needs to not let this boo get away, which can happen. 100 HP, pearls everywhere, objects in the way that can double cackle. Hallway with only one or two places he can go that are not time losses, depending on your routing. It's a pretty commonly missed boo, actually. In these races, these players are highly skilled and don't let it happen. But it happens all the time. Skozzy electing to just go for the double there, so I mean, if Death wants to get himself back in this race, he could go for that trip, and he does. And gets it. Little delayed on it, but it was definitely a trip. And that might have given him a little bit of a boost in this room. Seems to have found that boo really quick. So he's right there. What a shot by Skozzy. He is good at recognizing when he knows he has the perfect angle that he doesn't have to readjust Luigi's position. So he just took the YOLO shot. That was a super fast shot. DeathJohnson aiming it, you know, being careful with it, like you should. So, just a reminder, this is Luigi's tournament being held this summer. We are watching winners bracket action between Skozzy and DeathJohnson. Winner moves on in the winners bracket, loser drops down to losers bracket. Not out, down but not out. So these players already having to eliminate some players and send them down to losers bracket to have made it this far. Consistent play is rewarded. These are one-off races too, so until grand finals, I believe, every race is just a one race until it's a best of 3 for the grand final with the bracket reset. So we want to recharge our fire here if possible. So you spawn this boo and get some fire from the fireplace. Let him charge you, ideally, but Skozzy just kind of got like a weird timing with that, so it was like he recognized pretty quickly there that okay, this waiting for this charge is pointless. Just get him, just kill him. Death going in, getting some fire as well. It's always nice to have extra fire here. Great positioning for Skozzy on that trigger. The mobile trigger, which is probably one of the trickier things in this area, in this run, in my opinion. DeathJohnson got a good spin on it, and now it just appears that it's like not working. It's just a weird thing. It's such a weird mechanic. The top players are really good at it. That's something I've noticed is a commonality. Is the top players get that mobile spinning like a Beyblade. Death catching that speedy spirit that spawns in the crib for a morale boost. Because it's fun to catch ghosts, you know? Chauncey Room is just, okay, here's your read, what do you want to do? And Skozzy making the quick decision to just check the painting right there, which he could tell was a potential spot just by the way the Game Boy Horror flashes. It's not just if it's flashing, there's a nuanced way to tell by how it's flashing whether that spot has the boo or not, or potentially does. It's hard to notice in these restreams, but when you're playing the game, you can be paying that much attention to the boodar there with the nearly full eclipse boo ball from DeathJohnson. Just boo ball is really making himself this run. Nice tech skip. You can shoot through this peg. Pro tip. Speaking of nuance, it's Clairvoya. Our favorite wrist-crippling portrait ghost. Could be looked at as the most difficult portrait ghost in the entire game due to the nuance of these text boxes. So you got these quick texts, you have scrolling text, you have just the one-off text. Like, they have all these different like types of text that are showing up, and just mashing really fast doesn't matter. You have to mash in a rhythm, or have a idea of when the game wants you to put in your A and or B input, because A or B advances the text once the game allows you to. Cool mechanic. More than halfway through the race, both players are in the same room, so still anyone's race. Anything could happen. This is Luigi's Mansion. Case in point, yet another Boo Ball. Boo Ball making his way into this run in both players' lives. That was a lot of text. Another Boo Ball on the same spot. You get a Boo Ball. You get a Boo Ball. Everybody gets a Boo Ball. Okay. Sometimes you don't dodge the bomb ghost in the hallway there. Skozzy's just trying to keep it interesting for the fans, you know? There's the bomb ghost. He explodes no matter what. You won't see the explosion if you don't hit him. Poison mushroom hype. Poison mushrooms are a 25% spawn chance in an area where they can spawn. And in different versions of the mansion, such as PAL and Hidden Mansion, there's greater or lesser chance as well for poison mushrooms. But you definitely don't want to get hit by a poison mushroom in any way, shape, or form in this game, if you're trying to go fast. And DeathJohnson getting bodied by the Boo. Very unfortunate. Opting to not wait for him to go back into the room, using the method of once he's escaped, you re-enter the room before he does, and then he will pop back in and pop back out very quickly if you're not right on top of him, which Death was right on top of him. Alright, Boolossus. Easiest boss in the game, right? No pressure. Yep, good positioning there to get the bounce off the wall and pop him on the unicorn horn. And now he's doing a series of motions to actually manipulate the Boos to get them into a position that he can suck them up and freeze them. That was textbook. Nothing random about that boss. It's all based on your inputs. The only thing that's RNG is where the ice element decides to float. So for Skozzy, it was right there near the statue, and for Death, it is right there near the statue. but it can fly out of bounds, and there's nothing you can do about that. But that didn't happen, and Death now setting up this one cycle. Really nice, super clean. That was beautiful. Shot them all off screen and then went in for the one off suck up. All in one. I almost wish I switched the audio to fight for that so I could have heard that. That must have sounded like amazing on his stream. So very good boo losses by both players, something that if you want to get consistent sub 1 hour times, you better have a good idea of how to play that boss. Again, holding R as you enter into a lit area from a dark area, you'll just take your vacuum out right away without stuttering. And we want this fire to do flashlight skips. Both players will switch into sidestep and go meet our friend Grimly, who's waiting once we warp ourselves to the blackout map, which is a really cool aspect of the game that you just completely don't do in any other category besides max percent. Being grab every single last bit of money in the game, which means you gotta revisit like a bunch of rooms in the blackout. It's pretty cool. So what's Grimly gonna do? Is he gonna show his heart right away? Is he gonna take a little while? Is he gonna take a long time? Yep, both players are in sidestep right now. Most of the game you're playing on standard, but in this portion it's fine to use sidestep. It's a lot easier to avoid getting scared. You don't have to have your C-stick positioning be like insanely good. You can just lazily tilt the stick around like that, and yep. See how he's always keeping his back to the wall, essentially, without tilting too far, so that Luigi's back ends up being to the ghosts, which are there, but you don't see them because Skozzy's really good at his movement in that room. DeathJohnson will do it as well. It's really satisfying when you make it all getting scared one. Because during the blackout, you can just get combo scared. Scare stacks. There's so many ghosts. Alright, Grimly, anytime. So, Skozzy didn't get the breaker room boo, which saves like 8 seconds over grabbing the Van Gore boo. Because you only need 40 boos to beat the game, so you can choose which order you want, but it's like there's really no like grand options. It's just, do you go for this boo or the Van Gore boo? And yeah, neither player deciding to go for the breaker room boo, which is smart. Alright, our next room is the Clockwork Knights. You just have to have some nuanced movement through the mansion so that you don't lose time just, you know, walking. Gotta be tight on these corners. Got a flashlight skip right there. And another one when you re-enter and exit these hallways here, so... Even though you're just walking through the mansion, movement is still very... No time to fall asleep, gotta stay woke. See what I mean? Like DeathJohnson got stuck on the pillar there. It's just like, there you go, dude. Walking is hard. You gotta put one foot in front of the other. Alright, let's see if Skozzy elects to go double setup. Right now he is... Get the... Bounce it. Unfortunately, he gets like kind of a... weird setup, but here it goes. There's one. And there's two. Kind of like a trade-off double. It looked really cool. And it was safer than getting like the double and then trying to catch them both at the same time. That can usually not end well. Now we cook some Shy Guys. And then got our way over to the ladder over here. Good patience there. DeathJohnson. Almost getting the key off there while catching the blue soldier. The difference between the soldiers, by the way, is their walk speed. The green guy's the fastest. So now the armory room. This is a very high IQ room. Enter the room. Spawn the gold ghost. Scare skip. Fire him. Spawn the green ghost. Scare skip. Fire the gold ghost again. Catch the green ghost. Getting bonked there, but not enough of a stagger to miss the garbage ghost, but definitely a little rough looking. And of course this room lags. Great triple. Good job utilizing the scare skips. Really helps you keep your positioning and timing by getting the scare skips. Something you definitely want to go for. Almost warping through the boxes. That was definitely a eye-popping moment. Might have clipped out of bounds, which would have disqualified him. Imagine that. Just like accidentally clipping out of bounds and getting DQ'd. DeathJohnson just got hit by a poison mushroom, as you can see, which is just no good. But he gets a chance for this triple here. Nice scare skip. Get the trip. Very nice. In position here to get the lure on this boo. Yep, very good. Turn and pump. Easy. It looks very cool too when the boo just comes right to you. All you gotta do is face the other direction. The boo will charge you. It's a very important mechanic in the game, especially for breaker room boo. course, you don't have to light up this room that Skozzy's doing, so he's just allowed to get bodied, be embraced by ghost friends. You still don't want to get, like, choked around, because you do walk around slower, so using the ice there just to stun them. The most famous portrait ghost in the game, the only one to reside in the basement, Sir Weston. Let's see how Skozzy decides to go about this. Got him stuck in the corner there for the first part of that, which made him going into the middle there not as treacherous. So very nicely played, and very nice chest glitch. And we are going to save and quit once we one cycle this very easy automatic free boo that you should never ever miss. Again, using the hold the R method as you enter the dark hallway to get some more fire from that candle. Even though it takes a moment to grab it, and you walk a little slower with your vacuum out, it's like, you want it. It's worth it. It's similar to setting up tech skip with the cloth, like in the ice room or tea room. You want to set up the tech skip quickly, otherwise, you know, that time you spent setting it up is like actually going to cost you time, right? That seems pretty easy to understand, right? Setup time versus not setup time. Very nice one cycle. Sets them up for save and quit. Once again, this is the Luigi's Mansion no out of bounds tournament winners bracket between DeathJohnson and Skozzy. Skozzy with the lead, and a very considerable lead at that. He is in very good position to win this, send Death down to the losers bracket. Just has a couple more objectives. "15 cackles, and then he starts to escape. Doesn't quite get the boomerang because he's gonna just re-enter the room and get him right when he comes like this. So there's your time save after already dealing 130 or 170 damage rather in the first cycle. And now the final descent. So Skozzy getting that dot done, ready to smack once he finishes off King Boo. Now it's just a matter of, are we gonna 2-cycle, or are we gonna see a fast 3-cycle, a 3-cycle? And DeathJohnson getting the little boomerang there. Gets him right back into the room super quick, and then you just walk up to him and catch him like that. Sometimes you double cackle on that hanging light right there, and it's a little frustrating to see that happen. Alright. This is it. For the race. Skozzy would have to spaghetti this quite a bit in order to give this race up to DeathJohnson, but DeathJohnson not giving up. An excellent effort by both players all race to deal with this game. King Boo gets away for a little bit. Flies up. Now he starts his pumps. And still deals 249 damage. Good recovery there. Alright. For the race. Going all the way around town. Drains him to 0. Game over. Race over. Skozzy wins. With DeathJohnson right on his tail, just finishing the cutscene. Ready to start his attempt at this 2-cycle. We, of course, always finish out our races. No matter what. Right? Very proud of both of these guys for laying it all on the line for tonight to, or today or tomorrow, whatever time it is where you are, to entertain us and keep us company with this game. So here's that fast 3-cycle I was talking about. As long as you keep his HP above 200, he will not put his head on backwards and run the arena. Boozer, that is, not Luigi. And very nice. 58-36 by Skozzy, very good. And I'm going to invite both players to the Discord if I can figure it out. Player to come. Here's the. Trying to invite the players to the stream. We are joined by Skozzy. What's up,
Hello.
dude?
Hi.
Yo, what is up?
Not much. That race was interesting.
Definitely. You want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about most of my area too. I think I played pretty well towards the end.
Hang on, just inviting Death here.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously I made some really big mistakes sort of in the middle of the run, but, you know, I think I did pretty okay. The RNG was really nice.
Good RNG, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, there was a few things that weren't too great, but for the most part it was pretty nice to me.
And we are joined by DeathJohnson.
So it would seem.
Good game, man.
Yeah, some of it was actually interesting.
Yeah, it was
Very
definitely a close race for a lot of it, like, yeah.
I think we both had the best area 2 we could possibly have.
Well, I started off having a really good one, to be fair. Like, the RNG was super nice to me, and I executed really well on, like, fire, but then absolutely threw it away.
I lost 7 seconds trying to match the text on Bogmire Key.
Oh, really? What happened? Were you
I
just
forgot
not
there
paying
was
attention?
text. Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
Fire.
It's like you got too used to map glitch, so whenever you get a key, you just
Yeah, there's
drop the
nothing to
controller.
do there. Well, yeah, like as soon as I missed post or skip, I was like, okay, that's it, that's the race. Like, I don't think I've missed post or skip in standard since 2016. Somehow this race, I just missed it twice.
Any clue on what the next matchups are?
Like for us on the bracket.
Not even slightly.
Not even
I'm
the
facing
slightest.
Joven in round 4.
I'm probably gonna face somebody at some point.
So there's going to be the Admiral versus Dark, and then the winner of that faces Shape, and the winner of that faces Death.
So my next race will be like in a few years.
Yeah, basically. We gotta wait until GDQ is over, and then each round is going to be a week, so like 4 weeks, I think.
There was a time in that race when I thought I might just do crazy things and try having fun with it, but most of those things would lose time, and I didn't really want to ruin the race, so I just sort of kept playing till the end.
I do a little bit of that in tournament races. I like showing off the game as much as I can, so like sometimes I go for sort of flashy strats, but
Thinking of going for something different with Moonshot, but the race was only like a 30-second difference at that point. I'm not gonna just miss.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you were right on my tail. I was pretty nervous.
I have 100% consistency with Moonshot so far this tournament. No misses ever.
No, that's something to celebrate.
Easy. Speaking of too easy, how about Bulasis?
How did yours go?
I got to 15 boos in 2 shots.
Nice. Yeah,
Clean.
I had like a sort of bad shot, but they were all really grouped together, so it didn't matter.
Like my first boo losses in the tournament was okay, but not that good, and this one was just better. I don't think it can really go up too much from here, but we'll see eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you seem pretty consistent at it. I know that you do a sort of weird strat there, but it works for you.
Like technically it could be better if I got them all in 1 shot, but I don't even like see if I got them all in 1 shot. I just sort of do a second shot anyway.
Well, a lot of people now actually shoot before they're all the way to the left. That's what I've started doing, is I don't even wait until I'm at the statue. I tend to shoot it.
I think I did something like that this run for the first shot, but I don't even remember because that was like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, if you want to wrap it up, Boston, Mr. Commentator.
Yeah, I got a question. In the armory room, when you got the mirror cloth and was getting sucked into the boxes, can you actually clip out of bounds that way?
No, you can't. You can sort of get stuck in the boxes in a weird way, but
Can you
don't
soft lock
clip
that
out.
way?
No.
Okay. I was a little scared because I hadn't seen anything like that, so I was like,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was well aware that it was a thing that can happen. It really wasn't a big deal. It actually pulled me towards the thing I was going for anyways.
very cool.
Yeah, it's not like it saved time, don't get me wrong, but it didn't lose any time.
It's armory room.
Yep,
Was.
sure is.
So I think that's gonna do it for us. I'm Boston Brew.
I'm Skozzy.
I am neither of those people.
And we will catch you next time. We are finished here. Peace.